Well, oh, this is great. This feels good. It's rock and roll time, 10:30 a.m. on a Friday morning as we record our Studio C session here. And very honored to welcome a longtime Summit favorite, many albums now, many releases, and it just keeps getting better and better, and he keeps on touring, and he can't get enough of Ohio. Mr. Pete Yorn is here. Yes. So we're set up as a duo today with Pete Yorn and Johnny Polanski on keys, so a special duo performance, kind of a morning coffee time type of vibe here. Let's jump in, Pete. Let's do one song first, and then we'll do a little Q&A type stuff. But which song do you want to start with here?
Let's start with a song called Someday, Someday.
Oh, we've been playing this quite a bit. This is a big song for us.
You might know it. All right.
Yeah, that's right, Pete Yorn.
Oh, it's so much harder than you thought it would be. You throw it all away when they come calling. Never the one for a long goodbye. Leave before the end, then you're off running. Should have seen it true, but you held it so tight, hidden so well that it fooled me. Now you're out walking on the edges of life, selling that same old smile just to get by. Someday I'll try. To forget the look in your eyes. Someday I'll try. You told me you're afraid of the sea, like your family always falling down. All this time in an endless night, with a weary heart leads to morning time. Should have seen the truth, but you held it so tight. You're hidden so well that it fooled me. Now you're out walking on the edges of life, selling that same old smile just to get at me, yeah. Someday I'll try. To forget the look in your eyes. Someday I'll try.
Well, we are live in studio on another Wayside Furniture and Blind & Sons Studio C session. We welcome back Pete Yorn. Let's give him another hand for making the detour to Akron, Ohio today. So Pete played on Wednesday out in New York, and then yesterday was the day off and travel, and then tonight Columbus at Scully's Music Diner. So how was the trip? What did you do with your day off?
That's a good question. It was a nice trip. We drove in from New York City, and we got here. The rooms weren't ready, so we had to wait for a little bit. But we chilled out, and I needed a shower. I was like 3 or 4 days without a shower. I was really pushing that one a little bit. But yeah, had a nice shower. I walked around a little bit. I had a Japanese. I had a avocado sushi for lunch. It was very nice. I wandered around Target.
Yeah.
I wandered around famous footwear. I peeked in there to see. My daughter's feet are growing so fast. She's 9, and I'm always like peeping to see if they have these certain Nikes that she likes for school, and they didn't have them. But I was wandering around browsing, and then I should have watched football late last night. I watched the Army game. They beat Temple, and then I also watched the Giants lose to Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, that's an eventful day in the life in a full-time touring musician, right?
Yes, very exciting stuff.
Very exciting. So wait, where did you guys actually end up staying then?
We were at the Hampton Inn in Akron South, and we were surrounded by all these dangerous places. There was a Scottish place called McDonald's.
Ooh.
There was a place called Wendy's. There was a Freddy's. They were all surrounding the parking lot. I'm looking at them like, oh. And I was like, don't do it, Pete. Don't do it. So I didn't do it. Those days are behind me. I'm not doing that no more.
Not doing that?
I'm staying away.
Well, we can't thank you enough. I'm glad that actually worked out. Then you guys did stay here in Akron, because there's no show in Akron or Cleveland. Like, you guys are Columbus and then on to St. Louis, I think, after that.
We came here special for Michelle's birthday.
Yes!
For real.
Happy birthday to Michelle Charles, who really, she's the one that saw it on the routing and said, wait, New York, day off, Columbus, and it's my birthday, get him on the phone. So we made it work. No, thank you. Thanks for making the special detour. See, Summit members, these are the perks of being a Summit member. Pete Yorn's only appearance in the Cleveland-Akron area. Although, a little road trip to Columbus at Scully's wouldn't be out of the way by any means tonight. So, Pete, tell us about The Hard Way. This new record just recently here came out, in August, I believe. 8 songs in total on this one. And, tell us a little bit about what's different this time around.
Yeah, it came out August 23rd. And as you said, it's called The Hard Way. And it's kind of about... the title to me means, just facing stuff down, not taking the easy way, because sometimes the easy way is less rewarding. Sometimes it's smart to take the easy way, I'm not talking about, taking the hard way just for the sake of it. I'm talking about when you're kind of faced with something that you don't really have a choice, so you just gotta suck it up and deal with it. It's the best way to go. So there's a lot of that in there. And there's some love songs and stuff like that as well, and unrequited love, stuff like that. But, and just being an overall kind of badass, I think.
Yeah. Well, a badass, but also a dad and a family man nowadays. Has that kind of adjusted your insight into the writing process, the touring process, et cetera, in recent years?
That for sure, of course, you can't not be affected by that, and I'm walking the line real good. But I think the biggest thing that informed this record was I started recording with my friend Josh, and we wrote all the songs together. It was really nice to do that. And maybe like 3 songs in, I had this crazy health thing happen where I had to deal with it, and it was hairy and scary. And we shut down for like maybe 9 months, something like that. I couldn't go back to recording for a while from recovering from what I was dealing with. And that changed everything. It was one of those life experiences, and I'm sure many of you have gone through them in different ways, but like one of those things where you can't go back to thinking about the world and your life the way that you had before. It just changes you. And it was like a gift, And so when I went back into the studio and continue writing and recording this record, I dealt with so much, and I was so proud of how I rose through a lot of adversity that I think the context was in the songs, and if it's like literally about that or not, it doesn't matter. It was more of just this like, I would see it in the songs and certain lyrics, and I think that's for me a lot of the power in the record, and it's a celebratory record in that way. It's like you can deal with hard things, and you could continue.
That seems to resonate with the Ohio mindset, right? Like, and just kind of the grit and determination. In fact, a local author, David Giffels, has a book called The Hard Way on Purpose about life in this part of the country right here. So no wonder it really resonates so nicely.
I did not know of this book.
Yeah.
I need to check it out. Yes.
I will show you. I have a copy in my office. In fact, he's a friend of the radio station. So pretty amazing. Well, Pete Yorn is here, joined by Johnny Polonsky on keys. And yeah, Johnny's another artist that we've supported and celebrated through the years. In fact, I remember during weird COVID time, we did Studio Z, the Zoom interview performances with both of you guys separately. So we did one with Johnny a few years ago, and thank goodness that's over, though. This is way better. People in the audience enjoying music together, and yeah, welcome back to Akron and the Summit FM. Let's do a couple songs here. We'll do it kind of mini concert style. Which one do you have up next for us here?
All right. I'll play an old one you might know. Get going. I live on a chain. You share the same last name. As a joke, I sent a bottle of whiskey as you choked. Said it made you feel dirty. Yeah, I was waiting over here for life to begin. I was looking for the new thing, and you were the sunshine, hitting my front line. I was alone, you were just around the corner from me. Your time alone is good. I spend my day in the city, in a dirty neighborhood. You know you'll never convince me. So I sold the town away. I couldn't wait to forget you. I was killed in half a day. I had no time to regret you. I was waiting over here for life to begin. I was looking for the new thing, and you were the sunshine, hitting my front line. I was alone, you were just around the corner from me. I'm still on the chain, and you share the same last name. As a joke, I sent a bottle of whiskey as you choked, and then it made you feel dirty. Waiting over here for life to begin. I was looking for the new thing. You were the sunshine, hitting my front line. I was alone, you were just around the corner from me. Yeah, you were the sunshine, hitting my front line, and you're just around the corner from me. Yeah, you were the sunshine, hitting my front line, and you're just around the corner from me. Just around the corner from me, yeah. Thanks so much. All right. All right, well, I am out here with a new record. I got to play some songs from that. So I'm very happy to debut some for you today. This is called Different Roads. On the record, it has a really beautiful string introduction. It's like a string quartet plays this beautiful thing. I don't have them with me today, but check it out after. It's like... Sitting around wondering how your life has really been. Haven't heard from you in quite some time. We've been traveling on different roads. You're going out, I'm coming home. I hope you know you're always on my mind. It's hard to think that I only wanna feel this way. When you're alone, do you think of me like I've been thinking about you? I hope you know I wanted it to. We were racing around, killing time, finding out what I hid inside. Till we ran the car right off the road. It's hard to think that I'm the only one who feels this way. When you're alone, do you think of me like I've been thinking about you? I hope you know I wanted it to. Oh, like I've been thinking about you. I hope you know I wanted it to. All right, thank you very much. I'll keep it going. This one's called Real Good Love. Sometimes we get high, sometimes we get low. Moving so fast with nowhere to go. It's all the same. Did it myself, got no one to blame. You know as good as I, the real good loving is so hard to find. Some say fast, some say slow. Come to find out nobody knows. Looking at at you, I can't help but smile. I hope you don't mind if I stay here a while. You know as good as I, the real good loving is so hard to find. You know as good as I, the real good loving is so hard to find. So hard to find. Hard to find. It's been on my mind. Oh, day and night it feels alright. Real good loving is so hard to find. Some grow young, some grow old. It's all on us, truth be told. It's all good, I can't complain. Give me the chance, I'll do it again. You know as good as I, the real good loving is so hard to find. Oh, you know, well, as good as I, the real good loving is so hard to find.
We are live in the Studio C facility presented by Wayside Furniture and Blind & Sons. Studio C on the Summit, and it's Pete Yorn. How about another hand for Pete Yorn and his only appearance for the Akron, Youngstown, Cleveland area, although they will be playing Scully's Music Diner tonight in Columbus. What are your memories of Ohio through the years? Ohio's been good to you, right?
I love Ohio. I have many good memories. I've come and played, Cleveland. One of my memories is coming, to visit you guys at radio over the years, but so many in Columbus, especially, so many memories from there.
Yeah.
Columbus has always been great to me, and I have my band there tonight, so it'll be four of us.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because we have Pete and Johnny here today, but it's a four-piece that's currently out on the road for this run, right?
My bass player is actually from Columbus. He's visiting family there right now.
Oh, nice.
But his name's John Spiker. He's great, and my drummer is Scott Seaver. He's going to be with us. But I've had so many great times going back. Like too long now. I think back, when I started coming here, it was back in like 2000, so. What
were the biggest differences as far as touring and just the business of music since then? Like being on the road, like what's way different today comparatively to when you were starting out Music for the Morning After?
Oh, well, I quit drinking right? last year, so that's one thing.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah, so that's a big thing for me, like not that I was like an alcoholic or anything like that, but I was drinking, I realized I needed it to like get on stage and to play shows. I was just chasing it all these tours over the years, and I think I pickled my brain a little bit. So I was like, had an opportunity to stop, and I was like, this is better. I think I'm better. And so so I've been playing this tour. It's been interesting. It's my first one that's just kind of sober, and it's getting better and better each night. It's cool learning how to do something that I love so much and that I always did as a kid, and to be able to reapproach it now without needing all that is really awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't judge anyone. Like my whole family's boozing around me all summer long. It's all good. I don't care about that, but
right.
It's nice for me. So
yeah.
There's that. Also, I'm a family man now, and I walk in the line. So I got my wife. I love her so much, and I love my little daughter. So it's not, touring's different than it used to be. He said it was,
Well, and you're doing.
Let me just say, it was to quote the great Spinal Tap. I think it was, it was just to be sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and you take the sex and the drugs out of it, and the rock and roll's not so interesting anymore. But I will say that the rock and roll is still interesting, and it's very nice to go out and be able to, like, I'm super grateful to have the opportunity to get on stage and play for people, and I just approach it with a different head than I used to. Just like I feel very blessed to be able to communicate with music and get that back and forth with people. It energizes me, so it's really cool.
Well, that's the power of music and the song, and it's probably why most musicians, yourself included, are driven to do what you do, right? The connection.
Yeah, it reminds me a base way of like why I like music in the first place. You know, like I think back, being a 10-year-old kid in my bedroom hearing, REM or the Smiths for the first time and being like, oh my God, this is, just make me appreciate, kind of why I got into it in the first place, for that kind of pure fun and pure love of it. So it's great that way.
Well, Pete Yorn, our guest here in Studio C. And by the way, you guys are doing shorter road runs now too, right? Like you're not staying out for 28 days at a time anymore.
I used to go out like over a year at a time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love to be home with my family. So when I do go out on tour, it's a rare thing. And obviously it's slowed down since 2019 or 2020 and everything that happened. But I feel like I'm getting back into it, and especially when my daughter was really little, I wanted to be home a lot, and I had that opportunity. But this tour has been a good opportunity to get back out and experience it again with the band, and it's inspiring. So I'll probably do some more. But even if I do, it'll be quick hits. It'll be like short things. I don't like not doing these marathon tours anymore. It's just not for me.
Well, it's kind of on your terms now too, right? Like you're a fully independent artist. Like you're kind of doing your own label, right?
Yes, I am.
How about that?
Yeah, and I've done it for my last 3 studio albums, and it's been great. But even when I had, major labels behind me, they never would force me to do anything. It was never like that. I could always say yes or no. It was just more of just, kind of where I was in my life at the time. It was just, it just made sense,
Do you think that's the way forward for like all of our hardworking local acts around here in Akron area? Just doing it independently, kind of like calling the shots, managing themselves?
I think that there's no one way. Everyone's going to have a different path, and so you just have to, stay present, keep your eyes open, try and make the best decisions you can, and just follow your instincts. And I think that's just the way it is with anything.
Well, Pete Yorn in Studio C, along with Johnny Polonsky as a duo here today. Oh, and I wanted to ask Johnny, too, just say a little bit about your new record. Supernatural Radio is the recent release that you've just come out with.
Yeah, it came out earlier in June on Stone Gossard from Pearl Jam's label, Loose Groove.
Excellent. Yeah. I see. Well, you've been relatively prolific because you had Rise of the Rebel Angels last year, too. There's a couple things. Are they available at the show tonight? Do you like sneak
No. Oh, they're on Spotify and, Amazon, whatever, all the usual places,
I thought maybe you took a corner of the merch table or something,
No,
Would Pete allow that?
No, I don't.
Don't allow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Pete Yorn show.
Yes, of course.
It's a Pete Yorn show,
Well, excellent. Yeah, look up Johnny's great solo material as well. And the 4-piece band is tonight at Scully's in Columbus. How about one more song, guys? Let's do it.
Who is that guy back? Is that Oedipus? No.
It might be Oedipus or Bill Gruber, my predecessor, who was the program director here for 30 years.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
No, Bill. Imagine this. Here's the greatness of public radio. Bill worked here for 30 years at one station and then retired. And then he said, "See you guys. I'm going to work on my classic cars." So he's still around, but that's how radio should be, right?
That's beautiful.
Not all these cutbacks and so forth. But yeah, Bill's on the mural behind me here in the studio. Pete, and you probably met him early on years ago because you've come through. I know you did Studio C back in 2018, I think, at the old place, and maybe at least once or twice before that. We're longtime fans around here at the Summit. So, how about one more song? What do you want to do next?
Yeah, we can do one. All right, I bombarded you with 3 songs from the new record, so I'll play you another oldie you might know. I see you wearing a T-shirt there. I'll play something from your T-shirt, right? This has been my anthem for a long time, and it still resonates nicely. And when you said I could not stay with you, that's not the way you would have wanted to be. Convince yourself that everything is alright, 'cause it already is. Don't sell your heart and break just anyone. I want to run with you through moorland fields. Convince yourself that everything is alright, 'cause it already is. 'Cause it already is. So take your lessons hard and stay with him. And when your car crash comes, don't be misled. Convince yourself that everything is alright, 'cause it already is. 'Cause it already is. Take your lessons hard and stay with him. And when your car crash comes, don't be misled. Convince yourself that everything is alright, 'cause it already is. Yeah, it already is. So take him home. So take him home. Home. Yeah, take him home. Take him home. Take him home. Thanks, y'all.
That's Pete Yorn here in Studio C, supporting the new record, The Hard Way. Pete Yorn and Johnny Polonsky here today for Studio C. And we just can't thank you enough for the great records and all the music through the years. It's important work, so keep going.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you do. Yes, yes. One more hand for Pete Yorn.